Do you know what a useful idiot is?
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Useful idiots. Yeah, you fucking dopes got played. It's not insidious. Corruption right up in your face. The country's hideous. You really fucked up this place. So supercilious. DJT, a complete disgrace. I know a guy who's nearly brain dead, doesn't have a lot going on in his head, but he thinks otherwise, thinks he's a real wise guy. If you share a word with him, you'll see that he's rather dim and a bit of a redneck too. But what can you do? We've got to fight for those casting the vote just to spite their nose and to spite their face. They go at a real slow pace. We all have to share this place, even with the losers of the human race. It's their planet too. So what can you do? Run your race or run along. Some are gonna take second place in an old folk song. Come what may, off on a church Sunday. Run along, run along. The race is long and the road is tricky when speed limits and IQs are 60. But the stakes in the race are steep. Mind the pace you keep. If you're barely placing third, take a minute to feed the birds and reflect. Show some respect while you run your race or run along. Some will take second place in an old folk song. Come what may, drink some Ripple on New Year's Day or run along. Run your race or run along. Some are gonna take second place in an old folk song. We just may shrimp these waters someday, but for now, run along. It's the kind of world where the dumb can do alright, even if the batteries are dead in their nightlight. So suffer fools, suffer in between. What can you do? Know what I mean?
Woo-hoo! Fuck, that's how you start it up, baby. That's how you start a show right there, folks. Take notes. Take notes. But good morning. Very good morning. It's almost 10 a.m. here on the East Coast. Stevie Lou, the original lunatic, world famous, Lou Nation in the house. Losers throw L's up. We do it right here. It's just how it's happening these days. Converting Lou after win after win. If you're not part of the Luniversity of Lunatic Nation, then I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing here? Hit the like button. We're not starting in a sec. We started, Stevie. Get that thing down. Jesus Christ. Welcome. It is your boy Stevie Lou. I'm just checking in with you here. It is, I guess, someone else's time spot normally, but they're a no-show, so we'll do it. We're doing it. This is a show. This will be up later. Please do like and subscribe. What's up, Michaela in the house? Giving Doodle a shout out. What's up, Doodle? This is definitely not the tired verse. No. As a matter of fact, Mint, I've been up for hours. I've been up for way too long. I fucking crashed out hard last night. Fell asleep. Had no idea that the big boss, Kevin Brennan, did a second show on MLC last night, late night, or I don't even know what time that all went down, but it did go down. So if you hadn't heard, there was a whole second episode yesterday. Go catch up on that after this, of course. But we are really just living in a new world. This is a brave new world, I would say. Rodney's 2 is going to be looked back at by far a much more cataclysmic shockwave forming event than that original Rodney's fiasco was. And this is going to happen if you'll come along with me here in much more subtle but impactful ways than, say, the first Rodney's. So we could get more into that if we need. It seems to be there's a lot of fallout that's already been occurring. I'm sure most of you are aware of a lot of what's been going on, but we can get into all that. Mint, Dr. Mega G checking in? Mint, did you see Blob took his epic Rodney showing and parlayed it into appearances with disabled stars, Quadfathers, and Jake Hudson? Jesus Christ, Blob. What are you doing, pal? That's not how you want to. Brilliant stuff, yeah. Listen, I'll get this out of the way. Final boss. I love this kid. I loved hanging out with the final boss. You know, if I was going to give an all-star of the night, I don't see how I couldn't say final boss. You know, Brian Landon came in, was there early. JT from this other show that's usually on now was there early hanging out. Two guys that were surely in contention for VIP MVP of the night. But I think without a doubt, without a question, that award truly would go to the final boss. You know, he was looking sharp and came in with this just radiant energy. And, you know, he basically frame mogged everyone there, including myself, who was dressed up in a suit, and more on that later as well. But I would have to give my gold star of the weekend for sure to the final boss. As a matter of fact, the final boss was the only person that I asked to take a picture with. Like of all of the Dabbleverse and real life celebrities at Rodney's the other day, a week from actually, we're 1 week past. Final boss is the only one that I went up to and said, "Hey, let's take a picture, man." I mean, I was very graciously taking pictures with a lot of people. I had many requests for pictures, but final boss was the only one that I personally went up to, and it was like the other way around. It was like I was starstruck seeing the boss in his flesh, and just very sort of provocative guy. So shout out to the boss. Yeah, BYB was brilliant. Said no one ever. Jesus Christ, Mint Diggity. I know you've been around for a long time, and Jesus, I got to give a shout out to Mint Diggity. I'm sorry I didn't include you on the MVP running. You seem to have a lot going on that night. You had your beautiful lady on your arm there, which is, an MVP sort of scenario just to begin with. And I could see maybe like Mint Diggity has begun to stake his claim on some sort of run on the Dabbleverse eventually, with his appearance in person last week. But nonetheless, yeah, BYB turning into basically just a fucking like a chatty, what do they call it? Chatty Cathy fucking gab fest is just fucking, what are you people doing with your life? I mean, I get it when you lose certain things like the use of your body, whatever, you try to find other venues to get involved with, and it ends up becoming just like a fucking washroom gossip girl sort of scenario. You got Quad doing it like 7 days a week, more or less. He's got JMO every day on it. It's like I get worried for these people. I mean, I get it. I'm getting older. I don't have a tremendous social life. I do have friend circles and things outside of this Dabbleverse, and I live in New York City, which does have a tremendous nightlife community, and there's, let's just say, things to do. So I have trouble, just accepting this fact that certain other people just have nothing to do with their life besides just fucking stare at a computer screen and talk and chat about other people nonstop and make things up and fucking have little vendettas and things, and this is my side, and I'm with this crew, and oh, this guy is sleeping with that guy, and this guy sucks, and this guy's, oh, it's like, Jesus, man. Yeah, I guess, yeah, Quad is kind of like Dr. Claw. That's a good point. Holy shit. Yeah, look at this. JMO found himself a part-time job streaming 15 to 20 hours a week. I never intended on this when I built him, but this is kind of one of those things where your Frankenstein monster has kind of just run off, and now, like, how soon will the villagers get the pitchforks and torches? That's what I'm here to try to take on and watch. But yeah, like, do you think, honestly, Chow, this is probably what he tells his peoples? And again, I'm not going down that road that maybe I've found myself before, where I start, saying like, well, if you're streaming all this time, how could you be doing that? I just it boggles my mind a little bit, because it's like, unless you're a single guy at home by yourself, like the Quad, if you've got other stuff going on in your life, like, how do you just justify putting that every Friday without a question? But then there's like Monday, Wednesday, and then they do Sunday, and then Quad's on all these other shows. He's going on Buckman, fucking yada yada, Husey. So it's just, to me, I have trouble just getting this fucking Sunday, Saturday show in. once a week. But it's just like I wonder how does that all work out on his end? What does he tell his people? It's like, I'm making money over here with this guy in this wheelchair, so let me do my thing. Man, I mean, I could see maybe once in a while, but every weekend, that's just fucking. Again, I'm not judging. I'm just talking here. We're just talking. Him and Diggity gets it. Good morning, Kevin Soundboard, my man. Another guy, Kevin Soundboard and Tarnished Maiden. They're early as hell, and that was something I invited. I invited everyone to show up, and I'm glad they did. They really did kind of bail me out, if anything, by showing up early. JT the Watcher, Kevin Soundboard, Tarnished Maiden. Like I said, Puerto Rican Mommy ends up coming through. Tio Hank was a great time. Bill from Jersey also. I have to give a huge shout out. I gave Bill from Jersey my phone number. We'll leave it at that. But and I trust that man with my phone number now. So you come to these events and and it was just like, hey, Bill's a good guy. Let's just put it out there. Bill's a loyal guy, a good guy. He's kind of like he's almost like the Stevie Lou to Kevin for Chad. He's kind of like Chad's Stevie Lou to a certain degree, and that's probably insulting to Bill, but be that as it may. Bill's a good dude, and he was Twitter messaging me, and I'm like, dude, fuck all that. Just you can get my number. A few people got my number this weekend, and that's just that's how you level up in the dab. Let's just say if you have Stevie Lou's current number, you leveled up in the dab, and that is something that a lot of people strive for. So, a lot of people have my old number, and I had to get rid of that because let's just say, I've got some pretty fun voicemails from certain crippled people on that one. And he certainly loved to call and text, and even if I wouldn't respond. So let's just move on from there. We're not going to get into all that. This is a fun show. We're having a good time. If you folks want to donate and help out, that's always a beautiful thing. You got the Venmo, you got the PayPal down there. You can just you can subscribe, you can hit the notification bell. Please comment in the comments after the show goes live. Please, everyone, make a mental note. Set an alarm for an hour and a half later to go comment on Stevie Lou's video. That always helps. I got to give a big shout out. I'm sorry, I just kind of glossed over it in the beginning, but if you were here in the beginning, you heard a beautiful song called Run Your Race by an old buddy of mine, Matthew Price. So what I'll do here is I will throw it in the chat, and I'm going to throw it up on the banner real quick. I don't even know what you do. You could follow. Yes, please go on Bandcamp and follow my buddy Matthew Price. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Matt Price ends up on this show in the near future. I would not be surprised if Matthew Price, who has a moniker that he goes by, a different stage name, if you will, but this is his music. And honestly, I want to jam out to this one more time real quick. He sent this over to me the other day. He sends me all of his music, and this was shockingly good. And I hate to to try to sound like a prick there, but he is a hometown buddy of mine from my hometown, New Rochelle, New York. So a couple of shout out to New Row. And I've known him more or less all my life. We played Little League together. His mother and my mother were very good friends. And his mother passed away from cancer a couple of years ago, which I know was very, very tough stuff. So shout out to my homie, Matt Price, doing huge things here. And I want to throw this song on again here. I mean, I fucking love this thing, and I think I might like try to use this as like a theme song because at one point there is a loser mention in this, which nothing to do with me, but he sent this over to me, and let's play it again. A little snippet of this one more time here because I really like this, and let's give it a shot.
I know a guy who's nearly brain dead, doesn't have a lot going on in his head, but he thinks otherwise, thinks he's a real wise guy. If you share a word with him, you'll see that he's rather dim and a bit of a redneck too. But what can you do? We've got to fight for those casting the vote just to spite their nose and to spite their face. They go at a real slow pace. We all have to share this place, even with the losers of the human race.
Losers!
It's their planet too.
It's their planet too.
So what can you do? Run your race or run along. Some are gonna take second place in an old folk song. Come what may, off on a church Sunday. Run along. Run along. The race is...
All right. That is, I mean, people are throwing the L's up to that. I see JV Doocy doesn't like it, and I get it. It's maybe not for everybody, but here, look, 865 thinks it's a banger. JV Doocy didn't like it. HVAC North dug it. So, okay. So it does sound horrible through my audio. Okay. I apologize. That's not right. So here, I'll throw it in the chat one more time. And yeah, I get that. For whatever reason, when you try to play music videos in StreamYard, there is some sort of derezzing, as the kids call it on the audio, which is a bitch. Got to get on that EV mugs, I guess. But nonetheless, I did want to give a shout out to Matthew Price, the fun time man. So another thing as to why he's going to probably be up in this motherfucker soon is that he's an old school Howard Stern fan. And yeah, compresses it to shit. I'm sorry. I forgot that. So thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, I'll try listening to it while it's not high to see if I have a different opinion. But right now, I'm high on that alone. But Fun Time, as he's also known, is a old school Howard Stern fan. So he knows John, Shuli, yada, yada. And he's gotten wind of the fact that I've had this, run in with John. And he's now lightly following the Dabbleverse. I started sending him Doom clips and stuff, and now he's telling me how his algorithm is fucked, and he's always asking me questions about Shuli and John and all the beefs, and he wants to know who Cardiff Electric is and all yada yada. So, I was right up front with him, and I told him that Cardiff Electric is a menace. He's a fucking menace. But, yeah, check out Matthew Price. I threw the link in the chat. Check out that song, Run Your Race. I will say he is a bit of a hippy dippy, and that may not connect with a lot of you in this crowd, but it may connect with some of you. So do at the very least give it a chance. I guess I should send the link out, see if anybody wants to. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm getting messages over here that the goon bots are coming for me. Ay. Thank you for the alert, Dr. Chow. If you folks haven't been keeping up with Dr. Chow, Little Mirror, and their current adventures, you're missing out. I gotta say, at the very, very least, the intro to Dr. Chow and Little Mir's show, Life Forms, is one of the best in our universe, without a doubt. Uh, Very impressed by what they do there with that. So I'm a big intro guy. I think that you got to start off and set the precedent right. But then getting off into their breakdown of some of the personalities and the going ons in this universe. Yeah, really. There are goonbots and goonbots everywhere. There's purple hands, cortisol spikes, and we're living in the future as we know it. So you do really need to keep your eyes open and your mind open and listen to the people that can see the future. Because if you know anything about Dr. Chow, he certainly has a way of, if not predicting what's going to happen next, or just orchestrating what's going to happen next. So either you figure that out on your own and try to operate a certain way, or you fight it, and then you end up with your cortisol spike. And we've seen it happen to the best of us, and you'll, like I said, end up with a purple hand, like you've been sitting on it. So we don't want that. And shout out to all those who are down with the Chow and the Mir. I'll tell you what, Little Mir is got to be the most improved, because Jesus Christ, was he an insufferable piece of shit and just uncoachable, it seemed, for a real long time, just uninhibited, out there on his own island, to say the least. But I feel like Chow has put the work in, really guided him, kind of provided him a mentorship sort of situation, and has really influenced him in a good way. And you see him come around, and he'll make me laugh sometimes on these shows, which is to say a lot, because I used to despise the motherfucker, and I still do to a certain degree. But I've definitely seen the guy come around. So, did you see Cumia's bit about Seth Rogen with the weed? Did that resonate? Premium 2681. I did see that. As a matter of fact, I saw Cumia got into it. I saw Gavin got into it. I saw a couple of other very right wing celebrity, right wing squawker sort of people had a big problem with Seth Rogen's weed products, which it doesn't surprise me. If you're gonna be this conservative douchebag, then that's an easy target. As a matter of fact, it's kind of sad that those guys end up taking the bait and going for such low-hanging fruit. And of all of the problems that we have in this country right now, to bitch and moan about weed smokers is just grammar school bullshit. You are literally showing your cards and how limited of a scope and IQ you have when a guy, an alcoholic like Anthony, who's had like severe heart problems because of his alcohol use, he almost died, and the doctors blamed it on his chronic alcohol use. A guy that doesn't show up still, his age, can't make it to shows where he starts middle of the day. Like if the thing they say, like if this is a disease or an issue for you, a problem, it's because a substance is because it ends up affecting how you like operate your daily life, like going to work and your simple things like that. So, or you're having heart attacks and having to have heart surgery, that's a sign that the substance has gotten its grips on you and is a problem. So for Anthony, he's got this target on weed, but to me, it really seems like it's a cop out and a cope, as the kids call it, for a guy who's clearly had alcohol issues all his life, and he wants to blame the problems out there on something else and always find a scapegoat. So that's where Seth Rogen, I guess, ends up getting under Anthony's skin and Gavin's skin, and then all of a sudden it's about, oh, he's never had a child, and then they start attacking his wife and stuff too. Which, like, fuck. I've always been a fan of Anthony as a kid, and Gavin was a guy that I respected and appreciated his takes for a long time. But, it feels like they've been stuck in a rut for a long time there now. And, like, I hear all this shit about Gavin and his wife. Like, you hear little rumors. Not going to get into any of it because it's none of my business. And, but these guys going after Seth Rogen and his personal life and stuff just because he puts out a new weed tray is really just fucking asinine. People are jumping in saying Kumi is a clown. Okay, so Premium thinks that that's a weird take. So you think that my take is weird just by being like seeing it through and seeing it from a higher perspective than just like, Seth Rogen bad, weed bad. Like, come the fuck on, doggy. Like, where my stance is on all these sorts of things. So, as a matter of fact, the fact that I don't have my own fucking weed rolling tray it's on me. So, give me by the third quarter of 2026, and I'll have my own little like who here, throw an L in the chat if you wouldn't fucking buy a little fucking Stevie Lou rolling Luniverse Lunatics embossed weed, self-contained weed tray. Have like some sort of L-shaped lighter. I don't know. We'll figure it. Like, where's the weed? Yeah. See, look. Thank you. Look at that. Boom. Like, holy shit. I'm like literally being inundated with, look, this guy wants two. He's going to put one in the closet. And so, seal it up, sell those later when I die. Jesus Christ. No, of course, Premium. We're all teasing. And listen, okay. Who's saying it here? Who's saying it here? Ross Dog's Broken Spirit says Seth Rogen sucks. Now, I get that you could maybe not like Seth Rogen's personality. I can totally see that. I get that, like, his little voice like this thing is fucking that's tough to deal with, like, all the time. Like, did you really talk like this the whole time? Man, that's fucking crazy. I can't believe he's talking like this the whole time. Like, some people can make that voice for a little bit, but everybody's always thinking he's doing it the whole time. If he's doing it the whole time every day, how do you do that? But Pineapple Express, hold the phone, man, and damn, James Franco, you fucked up, dog. You really fucked up. You fucking fumbled that bag. Fumbled that bag big time, dog. But Seth Rogen's Pineapple Express, to this day, in my opinion, stands up as one of the top comedies of that era. I personally call it the best. I put Pineapple Express and How High as the pinnacle of cannabis comedy cinema. You got Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke crawled so that How High and Pineapple Express could run. And I feel like if you take those three films, that is the holy trinity of stoner cannabis cinema. It's just, you can't be beat with those three. And I personally probably put Pineapple Express as 1 and How High is 2. And then, Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke 3, as far as like just quality of film and its inclusion of the cannabis. So I just have to throw that out there. Fucking Super Bad was also, just a really tremendous film for that era too. So you can not like Seth Rogen all you want, but as an artist and his contribution to culture and film, it's got something to be said. Yeah, like who just said it here? I mean, honestly, I like Kevin Smith is insufferable, is even more insufferable to me. And I don't think his films are any like. I love Clerks. I've always loved Clerks. Mallrats is amazing. I love the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back to Dogma. All great films, but they have flaws and they're not like tightly wrapped packages like Pineapple Express is. And like Kevin Smith is kind of just gone off course to I did love that one film, Red State. Red State, I think, is like a standout film for Kevin Smith in his later career. But he's more or less done, right? Am I not? Right here? I was impressed. Mint Diggity. I think he's talking about Pineapple Express, possibly. Yeah, man. Doodle says, too bad James Franco is a creep. He's so dreamy. Doodle, this is actually, I'm going to, at the risk of exposing myself here, I would like to tell a short story. The lovely Mrs. was working at a restaurant years ago, and it's a place in the city that gets some celebrity clientele. And apparently she was waiting on James Franco and his friends. And she tells me when she comes home that James Franco drew her a picture on the back of her bill. Like, he drew a picture and gave it to her. And I honestly was this close to going down and finding out where James Franco was staying for the night and settling some sort of score. I felt that was quite inappropriate of him. And it just goes to show that, like, yeah, this guy clearly has some sort of line stepping problem if you want to get into it. And, like, I know I'm very much aware of what happened with Franco. Guy had a acting school that he would do sex scene classes in his acting school, and then he would hook up with the women. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. The fact that he's not next to Danny Masterson in jail for the rest of his life right now, I guess that's not total R word, but like, talk about being a manipulative, abuse of power, sort of fucking scumbag Hollywood freak. I mean, does that, like, people always talk shit about like professors in college that sleep with their students for good grades. This guy was just using his celebrity and his school to funnel fucking victims or whatever you want to say, maybe willing participants. I don't know. But you hear the stories out there, and then the guy basically gets blackballed completely out of Hollywood. So I guess it's just desserts for James Franco. But yeah, was a creepy ass thing. Smoke, drinking, smoking, toking, snorting. That is great. That's from Black Sheep. Very, very good. Very good film. Where are we at? Yeah, see, Seth Rogen plays the same character every damn movie. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying that he is a tremendous actor, and like that's not something I'm giving him. He's okay. He's a good enough actor. I think he was tremendous in Pineapple Express. Also, one of the cool things about Pineapple Express that I'd always heard is that originally the roles were supposed to be flip-flopped. That James Franco was going to be the Seth Rogen character and Seth Rogen was going to be the James Franco character. And at some point they made the brilliant decision that they should swap it. And I think it's a fun mental exercise to try to envision what that would have been like the other way around. But to me, I feel like the mix, the potion was right the way they did it. Pootie Tang, sure. Pootie Tang is definitely up there, top 10 in weird stoner nonsense films. Pootie Tang, written by a guy that I apparently didn't bump into this weekend, this week. Pootie Tang, written by Louis C.K. I don't know if everyone knows that, but that is the case. And I would like to, I guess, go on some sort of record now today and say that it looks like I may have been it was a misunderstanding on my part. I don't want to say 100% just yet, but I have been now informed that it appears that Louis C.K. may be in Los Angeles this week performing at the Netflix is a Joke festival. And if that's the case, then he would not have been in New York City on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever I said I saw him. But yeah, I would like to, I guess, apologize formally to Louis C.K. and to the person who I thought was Louis C.K. for disturbing their lunch the other day. This happens, and it's never too late to apologize and say that you may have made a mistake. So I believe I did. Let's go. Diablo Sandwiches says, I was going to beat up James Franco, but I got too stoned and forgot. It's kind of the short version of that story, huh? Kevin Soundboard checking in. Jason Lee and Tom Green, 90s comedy, pure gold. What is he talking about here? I'm trying to go back up. I don't see what that was. Stealing Harvard. Damn. Stealing Harvard. I remember Stealing Harvard, but wasn't that kind of like after Road Trip? I do vaguely remember Stealing Harvard. I don't remember it being that good, though, dude. That was 2002, where Road Trip was 2000. Yeah, I felt like Stealing Harvard. I'll give it a rewatch. It's been a long time. It's got a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, which honestly is the lowest score I've ever personally seen. So I'm not saying that that's the end all be all, because I personally think Rotten Tomatoes is a bunch of horseshit, but seeing a 9% on a Rotten Tomatoes score is actually shocking. It's shocking to me. So it's funny you threw that out there. Yes, I was off into Fantasyland again. I get my ass kicked by fucking Dave Franco. Fuck out of here. Haggard was the best comedy of that era. 2003. Haggard the movie. This was a Ryan Dunn and Bam Margera flick. I honestly don't think I've ever seen this, Dr. Chow. This has an 87. This has an 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's hilarious. If we took Haggard the movie and Stealing Harvard, we'd get a whole 100%. Or almost a whole one. We're just a few percentages short of 100, which is, I guess, if you watch both of them back to back, you're getting quite an experience. But wow, that's wild. 5 out of 5 on eBay, 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. I had heard about this film for sure. I will say, Dr. Chow, that the 2003 Stevie Lou was fucking who the fuck knows? Jesus Christ. 21-year-old Stevie Lou. A lot different than this Stevie Lou here. Yeah. Shout out Bam Margera. Jackass the 4, I think, or whatever, the final Jackass is coming out this summer. Without a doubt, will be there opening day in a seat watching that. I've seen every Jackass film in theaters. I was a Jackass diehard. I mean, come on, you could probably tell. But that came out, the show came out when I was in high school, like sophomore year of high school, I believe, was when that first season came out. And that, like, Tom Green show and Jackass were, that was it for me. South Park, Tom Green show, Jackass. Fucking kill me now. That was my shit. So I will be checking out the Jackass movie. Speaking of movies, this was a nice little quick segue. I am going to see a flick tonight, and this will be the first film. Like, well, okay, there's more to that story, but this will be the first film that I'm like going to see personally. Excited to go see since Bone Temple. Since fucking 28 years later, Bone Temple back in like February. So it's been a couple months that I've been out of the movie scene. Super, super excited to go see Mortal Kombat 2. I know a lot of you are probably rolling your eyes right now. A, movie talk, and B, Mortal Kombat 2. But yeah, fuck it. I went and saw the first one in theaters. Now, that was the first film I believe I saw back in theaters. It was either the first, second, or third film that I saw in the movie theaters after COVID reopenings. So it's like I remember loving that film, and I think it may just been based off of the psychology and the extra good vibes of being able to go back into a movie theater for the first time. That movie could do no wrong for me. And I was a huge Mortal Kombat. As big as Jackass and Tom Green and South Park were for me in high school, Mortal Kombat was as big, if not bigger, when I was in middle school. When that arcade game came out, man, there was like one machine in town that was ballsy enough. The store was ballsy enough to put it in because it was controversial, and there was a line to play that thing. Man, it was like a movement. So I loved that shit. So Mortal Kombat 2, going to check it out tonight. Masters of the Universe, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling so hot about that one. The only thing I would say is that it does look like the kind of film that you could take hallucinogens and go see. So we don't have many of those in our life anymore. And I would say if you're gonna go see Masters of the Universe, make sure you take a handful of mushrooms or some LSD or something heavy duty to get you where you got to be and go for a space voyage odyssey. If I could throw out if I could throw out a film recommendation, which I believe you can see streaming right now, is a film called Nirvana, the band, the TV show, the movie. Holy shit. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this right. Okay. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. This was a film that I saw a couple months ago and absolutely loved it. These guys have like some sort of web series. I had no idea. I mean, I had slight idea about these guys going into this film, but I had never seen their show before. And honestly, I kind of got almost a little choked up during the film in a good way. It was bewildering. It was like, it gave me such a sense of wonder. And the story is pretty cool and wholesome, and they're hilarious. They're edgy. It reminds me a lot of that Tom Green Jackass era stuff. So do check out these guys, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. These guys, Jay McCarroll and Matt Johnson, are like doing big shit right now. One of them is doing a biopic. I'm trying to figure it out. I think it's maybe Jay McCarroll. Sorry, I'm looking at some. Yes, so Jay McCarroll, one of the main stars of Nirvana, the band, the movie, the show, is directing the new movie called Tony about Anthony Bourdain, which the trailer just dropped for that the other day, and that looks pretty fucking good. So, all right, let's try to fucking unwind out of. Yeah, that's what the L stands for. A lot of people don't know that, but let's try to back out on corkscrew out of movie talk because I'll get if you just let me go on a tangent, I will go running. As a matter of fact, yeah, I guess Jimmy says to watch the web series first. All right, let's just say this. I've never seen the web series. I didn't have a lick of knowledge about their shit before the movie, and I fucking loved it. As a matter of fact, I think I had like a different experience because I didn't know. Like I was so green, so wet behind the ears that giving it a shot and having the story successfully work on me without any sort of background on the what they had done before, I think is very impressive and like made it even more potent. But if you do have the time and you want to try to watch their shit, and I think there's a lot of stuff out there, so it might take you some time to try to catch up to watch this film. But if you are a fan and you have seen all the shit, it does have a different effect because it does kind of bridge more. But I guess I'm digressing here. Boogie Nights and Little Shop of Horrors are the only two movies you need. I agree with Boogie Nights. I agree with Boogie Nights for sure. It's funny that you mentioned Boogie Nights. Made me think of like just classic films that I've had on VHS, and I yesterday was in Manhattan and I walked by a thrift shop and I had the time and I saw that they were selling VHSs. So I pulled a couple quick ones and went inside to see how much they were going to charge for them, figuring I'd get banged out. And they only charged me $2 a pop, which is fucking ridiculous. So let me show you what I pulled yesterday. They had like a big bin, 2 or 3 bins actually. And I went digging and I found some goodies. So for $8 here, we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Now, this movie isn't that great, I will say, but it does feature Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey in a very early role. This is also a promo copy, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a classic. Good condition for VHS. So we took that. Now look at this one. I couldn't believe it. This sat there long enough. Motherfucking Fargo on VHS. And like Chicago Tribune couldn't put it more succinctly. A masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece. Only 98 minutes long. I think that's one of the huge keys to Fargo's success is that it's only just over an hour and a half. Don't have to commit too much of a day to this, but to get this, it's a little bit beat up, but not that bad on VHS. Any Coen brother VHS that you could pull is cool. So this has to be worth more than $2 for sure. And if not, I'm still so cool with keeping it. And then I couldn't believe my fucking eyes when I found this. Now, if you know me, you know that this is very near and dear to my heart, very close. But look at this fucking beauty. The Grateful Dead, the concerts, VHS. 3 VHSs in here. I got View from the Vault, Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, PA, from July 8th, 1990. Just something I mean, if you know View from the Vault, if you know The Dead, you've seen these before, but I honestly don't think I've ever had it on VHS, and these are rare. So, got the View from the Vault, got the Grateful Dead movie, VHS, which I have on DVD. They released again some sort of special edition on DVD a while back, but never had it on VHS. And then check this out: Grateful Dead New Year's Eve ticket to New Year's Eve, still fucking sealed, bro. This honestly, I'm gonna just take a wild guess: a sealed, mint condition. I wouldn't say mint, but near mint condition Grateful Dead VHS should get you at least $100. Like, I could be overestimating by 20, $30, but it's got to be a 60, 70 to $100 pick off the street. Really good condition here. This looks like this sat in a good location, strangely just never opened. So for $2, $6 total, I fucking was like pig and shit when I found that yesterday. So I'm not. No, Husey Entertainment wants to know if I'm wearing any panties. No. Dookie soup is gonna move ya. And then, yeah, like a dookie is moving. It's a movement, they call it. The Lou Nation is a movement. So throw your L's up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Again, do me a favor, set an alarm for an hour later. Remind yourself to go just write a comment in the bottom of the YouTube once it's up. And it just helps me out here. We're trying to move that needle. I gotta say, I celebrated a little too early. I guess I miscalculated some things, and I don't know. It's really a shame that YouTube is not very clear and transparent about how this whole shit works. As you know, and you can see, you cannot send a super chat just yet to the lunatic crew, Lou Nation, Stevie Lou. I thought after the stream I had on Saturday at Rodney's, I was over the live hour watch marker for hours to get monetized, and I guess I am short still. So thank you very much for helping out today by watching live and supporting, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, commenting, and all of that shit. We're gonna need a little bit more here. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep pushing on. But I need you to show up and do what you're doing now in order to get there. Shit. If you're feeling lucky and you want to throw me a few bucks, you got the Venmo, you got the PayPal down there. But we're doing it for fun. This is my passion. Entertaining for you. So let's get back into this chat for a little bit as we come up on the 1 hour mark. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a favorite movie of all time. Yeah, Tobe Hooper, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original 1974, independent legend. And if you do like, okay, another recommendation for you. If you are a fan of Texas Chainsaw, there was a trio of movies that came out recently. There was a series of films called the X series. The first one was the film literally called X from 2002, starring Mia Goth and who else? It's got what's his name? Kid Cudi, isn't it? Too. Jenna Ortega, who I know a lot of people love out there, is also in that, and she's actually really good in that. But you got to watch X, and then follow it up with the sequel Pearl, followed by the final film Maxine. But yeah, if you're a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan and you've never seen X, you fucked up because that film is 100% very much drenched in homage to Texas Chainsaw. It stands up on its own in a great way, but I was absolutely blown away by those films, produced, directed, written, and edited by Ty West, using Mia Goth as his um, muse. And Ty West, I'm looking. I have not seen a lot of his other stuff. I know I've seen The House of the Devil, which is basically what got him into. That's like to me at least, that was like kind of his start. The Innkeepers is another one I gotta check out. And then this movie In the Valley of Violence also looks really good that I've never seen. I really picked him up with X, starting with X. But yeah, you gotta check this shit out. He was inspired to create films after watching Peter Jackson's Bad Taste and Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. Barbarian. Who shouted out Barbarian? Barbarian is my shit. Yeah, Husey Entertainment. Yeah, Barbarian is a tremendous film. That's another guy. Zach Krieger. I couldn't remember his name. My bad. Zach Krieger, the director of Weapons of this year. Barbarian, I think, is a tremendous film of his. Definitely in the same elevated horror category. But yeah, I'm actually getting messages here from my buddies about Mortal Kombat. Going to see it later tonight. Maybe play it. We might play it a little bit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. All right, I don't even know if I could share this. Can I share this? Okay, we can share this. This is incredible. Folks, give me 1 second here. This is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to send this to Husey because he's a butt fucker. And then I'll pull it up here. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, that's not it. Okay, here's what's going on. This is the big reveal. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. There you go. We got Stevie Lou as Sub-Zero going up against his buddy James as Scorpion. That's one of my pals that I'm going to be going to see the film with today. He just sent that over to me. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? But yeah, Mortal Kombat in the house. Oh shit! A. Thompson is going to give me a problem here, and then I'm not going to see the IMAX up in Lincoln Center. Husey Entertainment says I got one for you, Stevie Pretty Eyes Lou. What's your take on this new horror Passenger? They're not putting the trailers for it online. I've seen the trailer a few times in the cinema. It looks, yeah. I guess maybe you missed what I said before, Hughes. That I haven't been following along with film lately. Let me see if I can pull up anything. This does sound vaguely familiar. Van Life. Okay. Coming out in a few weeks. Sounds pretty good, dude. It does sound pretty good. Looks like it is a Norwegian film or Norwegian director. So let me get into it and see more. I'm hoping that Mortal Kombat reopens my passageway to viewing more film uh, this summer. It is like blockbuster time. I mean, looking at what's coming out this summer, not a whole lot that's making me want to go. Besides the Christopher Nolan thing, I'll go see the Odyssey for sure. A Thompson, I'm gonna have to try to see that on the fucking 70 millimeter in Lincoln Center, but that's gonna be a fucking hard ticket to get. You're gonna have to like really fucking effort to get in there, which is a bitch. But yeah, that's gonna be good for sure. Um, right. What else is coming out this summer? I'm blanking. There's a new Spielberg film coming out that I'm looking forward to. That's called Disclosure Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I am definitely in for that. I like the idea that they're finally kind of giving Spider-Man a modern day New York to jump around in. And I feel like Marvel's done a great job with all of the Spider-Man films recently. Done a pretty good job with those. I like the Tom Holland and Zendaya combo. I think they do a good enough job. It's been fun to follow them along. I thought that the second one was my favorite, the one with Electro, the one where he's out of New York. But I think this is cool that they're bringing Spider-Man back to New York. The suit looks pretty good. It appears that what's happening in this film will tie into the Avengers. So there will be a bunch of storyline and Easter egg stuff, it sounds like. No, unfortunately, this Mortal Kombat is not 70 millimeter. It's not IMAX. Going to see it in the regular screen. And listen, A. Thompson, I got to be fucking real with you, dude. Like, I mean, I do get it that 70 millimeter projection is great and I enjoy the large format, but it's okay to go see films on the regular format today still. I'm not the kind of person who gets all hung up on that. I have a buddy's brother who is all up on like, oh, if you didn't see Sinners in 70 millimeter, you didn't really see Sinners. And the fact that I didn't like Sinners or didn't fucking do backflips over Sinners and didn't see it on the 70 millimeter, he tried to say that that's why I didn't like it, and I had to just disagree. Yeah, Stevie Lou wins flawless victory. Don't be a cheapskate. Just pay the ticket and support 70 millimeter. It's not about that. It's sometimes about actually being able to make those screenings and getting friends together to go see films. I'm not going to just pigeonhole myself and say, hey, if we can't get to the 70 millimeter, then we're not going to go see movies. No, I think it's better to just go see movies in general as best you can. If you could try to prefer the better viewing screening versions, then great. But that shouldn't be something that ever hinders you from going to the theater. As a matter of fact, I can't watch shit at home much anymore. I have to go to a movie theater and just put my phone away on silent on Do Not Disturb and just lock in for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So without just seeing film one way or another in the theater, I wouldn't be able to really watch movies anymore. It's just my brain's all fucked up and scrambled like that. So that's how I look at it, at least, dude. You're allowed to have your opinions, and I appreciate that you are always pushing me to try to go up to Lincoln Center to go see the big screen. And I do see a shit ton of films up there, doggy. I know we are blessed to see it up there. I'm not trying to get into an argument with you, and I appreciate, like I said, your passion for it. We are absolutely blessed to have one of those. This is the pieces of vinyl argument. Not a bad point, Roy. Not a bad point. Did you see Looney Tunes critic poll game? Yeah, that's fuck. Spider-Man is going to die, so Marvel can end the Sony agreement and just have Miles Morales. Yeah. I don't see that happening. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's Marvel's. So, okay, I'm not okay. Let me treat this reasonably. The deal between Sony and Marvel is not something that Marvel can end or has that control over unless they buy out the contract. Sony has the agreement and can continue to make Spider-Man content as long as they continue to make the content and they have the contract. I don't think Marvel is able to just pull out of the contract. They'd have to opt out of the contract. And I think that the way the contract goes is that as long as Fox continues to Sony, excuse me, continues to make the films, then they are able to keep the contract. That is my loose understanding of what's going on there, and that's why you get these animated films and this continuation of Spider-Man films every so couple of years, so that they can keep it on their side. But that is an interesting story if you look at it from the long-term history of the sale of the Marvel properties between Fox and Sony. It really is some wild sort of corporate story. This I'll give you. This I will give you, A. Thompson. If you do go to some of the 70 millimeter shows early in New York City, they will give you actual IMAX or 70 millimeter print frames, which is pretty fucking cool. I do dig that. When's the next Dune? The audio in the latest Dune movie is simply flawless. Yes. Is Dune 3 coming out this summer? I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's coming out this summer. Thank you for reminding me. But no, that's in December. That's right. That's a Christmas movie. Yes. A. Thompson. Holy shit. I know I've said this before, but I'll repeat it. I went and saw Dune 2 in theaters, in IMAX, in the big screen, high on acid. And when they had that worm scene, when he's riding the worm and the sandstorm is going, I fucking literally thought I was like riding a worm myself. It was the audio experience, the visual, the acid. It was all just. I was like holding my seat. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Just spilled my weed cock. I was like riding this worm in the theater. So yeah, I'll go check out Doom 3 for sure. That looks badass. I thought Dune 2 was awesome. I thought Dune 1 was okay. I thought Dune 2 was awesome. So Dune 3, tee me up, baby. Stevie, did you see Michael? It's about Michael Jackson. Turns out he wasn't called Mikey. Spoiler alert. Fuck. Like, you got to give me the spoiler alert before the spoiler, Hugh. I did not see Michael. Dune 2 was awful. I've heard that out there. I disagree. I've heard other people say that. Don't talk about Marvel, Sony. Every single streamer has already covered this. Talk about other DV streamers and make threats. See, Sam, here's the thing about that. I already been there, done that, dog. You know, like you know me. Like you see me, you know me. Like I'm the OG originator of this shit. Talking shit, getting into it, making motherfuckers feel. That's been my game. Yelling, right? I'm the original yell guy. Besides Kevin Brennan, I'm the other yelling guy. And you see all these other people following in my footsteps, trying to be the next carbon copy of Stevie Lou. And it's sad, man. It's forced and it's sad and it's boring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I do best. And that's just bringing me to the main screen here and having fun, talking my shit, going off the cuff, rapping with y'all. None of this fucking WWE work bullshit. This isn't BYB. All right. We don't start making up stories for fun. All right. Let's just be clear. So Jesse Angel says, my boss just calls me as I am wasted on this Saturday afternoon. Jesus Christ, man. Checking my work phone. Like, don't bother me on the weekend, man. Right? What the fuck is wrong? I actually have to work today. I forgot about that. Damn it. I do have an event I promised I would go to, and working on the weekend just fucking blows. That is something I try to avoid fucking as much as I ever can. But man's got to do what a man's got to do, and that sucks, darling. I hope you have a decent day. Look at this. MJ was framed, and I don't know if you've heard, but I've heard who did the framing. And let me just say, not surprised. Not surprised because, you know, you've seen what they've done out there in Palestine, and then you start to all right, okay, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We're kidding. We were just kidding. A. Thompson, I feel like you've asked this to me before, and I feel like I went and got the program. They gave out a program for that. So yes. I did see the Hateful Eight 70 millimeter roadshow that started off with music, no trailers, just interlude to start, and then an intermission. I saw it, and honestly, not a good QT film. Way too long. That brings up a decent point that Hateful Eight was a bit of a quilt there, a handmade quilt, if you will. I think, and I could be wrong. I could be confusing Hateful Eight and The Irishman, or maybe they did it for both. But didn't they release like an extended cut broken down into like episodes of the Hateful Eight online or something like that, where you can watch it? In like episodic. Yeah. Shit. Fuck yeah. I knew I was onto something here. Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight was re-edited into 4-episode miniseries for Netflix in 2019 titled The Hateful Eight Extended Version. This format adds approximately 25 minutes of footage not seen in the theatric cut. More dialogue. But yeah, that sounds a little bit more up my speed, and I would like to maybe give that a chance if I could. Now, didn't they do that for The Irishman too? What? All right, we're giving up on that. Yeah, so that's funny. Roy Cohn and I just not seeing eye to eye on Dune or Hateful Eight, which is great. This is what how why art will bring us together. What a waste of good LSD. I don't know. I feel like almost all sci-fi goes along with psychedelics. I feel like sci-fi and psychedelics go hand in hand. Now, that being said, go sober 2 movies if that's not your deal and enjoy them sober. But like really locking in on a film when you're tripping balls is a fucking magical moment. I can think of 2. I'll give you 2 right now off the top of my head that I think of 3, but some quick ones. First one, greatest movie experience I've ever had on acid was Cats. Cats the movie, the CGI Cats, the Broadway play that was brought to the big screen that everyone hated. Taking acid and going to see Cats is something I will never forget. One of the greatest moments of my life. As a matter of fact, it all came to a head somewhere about 3/4 through the film when they do the song "Memories," and I was overcome with emotion and began hysterically crying, uh, and like a beautiful emotion, overcome by the hallucinogens and the film. I had to leave the theater because I was absolutely bawling in tears about memories from Cats. So that's one. Uh, Another one was me and my buddy went and saw Inception on acid. So that was a little bit different, right? So we took some. I don't know what the fuck was up with this stuff. He was his stuff, wasn't mine, and it was strong as shit. So we're sitting in there like in a medium-sized crowd in the theater watching Inception, and we're sitting there, and the thing is starting to go, and like the hit is just fucking crushing us, just beating the fuck out of us with softball bats, just bing, bing, bing. While this fucking screen and everything is turning, and it was just like trying to follow the story. I was just gripping sides of my chair, just every muscle in my body just tensed up the whole time for like an hour straight, right? And I'm like, fuck. And I like remember look over to him, and he's like doing the same thing. He's just like, we're both just fighting it. And I look over, I'm like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. And he looks over and he goes, yeah, man, let's go. And me and him just fucking ran out of the theater about halfway through Inception and just got the fuck out. I remember we went and we had to like get a beer. We went to like a bar and just like found a quiet corner in a bar and just like tried to just fucking decompress from Inception. So that was a bad one, so you got to be careful. And then the other one I remember, it was American Sniper, which was like similar to the thing with Dune. When the sandworm scene comes up, there's like the end of American Sniper when he's like in the sandstorm, and I swear I thought like somehow they were like throwing sand on us in the theater somehow because I felt like I was in a fucking sandstorm. So like it could take you to a place, man, if you want to go. It could take you to a place if you want to go, or you could just sit at home and stare at a screensaver. Listen, man, everybody has different fun with life. That's what we'll just say. We'll leave it at that. Can we? Stop with the acid. Okay, Mom. My mom, probably. F1 in IMAX was a great film experience. I refused to go see F1 because of Gustav. I protested the film F1 because of the MLC chatter Gustav. Apparently, he had some sort of involvement in it. So I just, as a principle, refused to support that film. And I hope he hears this and knows. Okay. Sam Bibley says, Stevie, just because you were an OG yelling guy doesn't mean you're set for life. You should listen to the young generation and stay up. That's fine. Send Bobo the link. All right, I'll do it. I sent a bunch of people the link and no one responded, which is something. But we'll send Bobo the link before we kind of wrap it up here, because I am running out of steam. He's got something he wants to talk about. I see. He texted me last night. I missed it. I fell asleep early last night, man. I fell asleep early, woke up early. Looking how I do. My man, CCCKKKK checking in. What's up, my brother? Honestly, besides Final Boss, my favorite person in the Dabbleverse is CCC. It's just that's all I gotta say. I you know, Tuki is my favorite person in the Dabbleverse because he's just so original and he's so funny and just I find it fascinating. Yeah, da da dee, yeah, da da dee. Shut the fuck up, Smell. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you fucking pervert. No, Kevin Bennett, I don't want to. I want to tell you something, Kevin Bennett. Shut the fuck up, Kevin Bennett. I almost did my Christopher Walken there, but I think I'll leave that for I'll leave that only for MLC. I'll only do my Christopher Walken on MLC. I feel like it only belongs there on the big stage. It is by far my encore. It's what I bring out to really fucking bring the house down and send them home wanting more. So, I mean, listen, if enough people hit the like button, maybe I'll do a little Brennan just walking. Excuse me, Jesus, from my lips to your ear to God's ears. Maybe I'll do a little walking, but enough people need to hit the like button before that happens. Let's check in where we're at right now. If we get enough likes, I'll consider doing it. It also takes a lot out of me, you know, when you do the walking. It just like it takes my life force out of me. Where would this be? Let's check in right now. 31 likes. Jesus Christ. 31 likes. Fucker. Uh-oh, looks like we got somebody checking in. Boom. Thank you to my man Jason for throwing a few bucks to the Lou Dog. Thank you, brother. Very kind of you. Uh haven't heard back from Bobo, unfortunately, but he's always okay. This is what we could do. If we're not gonna have Bobo on, A. Thompson, how do I find a list? How do I find a list of upcoming 70 millimeter? The one thing I would say, and I don't know for sure if it would have it, is this website called Screen Slate. Right? It's called Screen Slate, I believe. Yeah, Screen Slate has listings for New York and beyond, it looks like. Mostly art house stuff, but that's where you'll see a lot of 70 and 35 millimeter that's not on an AMC. So here's what you do. You go to the AMC app, you could search specifically for extra formats and find out there. You could do the same for the Regal app, or you go to Screen Slate, and that'll take care of you. Okay, so I did not see the Jaws. I don't. Steve, A. Thompson, we got to do a separate. Yes, thank you, JV. We'll do a whole. We got to do a whole separate movie stream. Mr. Potato Head. That's what my nephews call me. It's pretty funny you say that. But okay, what I wanted to say is that probably the biggest thing to come out of Rodney's Chew is when hanging out with JT. I got the text Bobo wasn't going to be able to make it to Rodney's last Saturday, which was devastating, not only to me, but to multiple people. He would have really made the night, I think. And probably just, we all would have got laid if Bobo was there. Let's just leave it at that. But JT, the watcher of Dookies Soup fame, and I talked, and we've decided that in the very, very near future, we shall be going to a Mets game. JT, Bobo, and I. Now, shit, maybe we can open it up. If others want to come and join us, I think that would be totally fine. As a matter of fact, the Mets ain't doing so great these days. So I'm talking like sometimes. We could maybe get a small group together. We could sit up in the upper deck. The seat that the tickets are cheap up there. But let's figure out something. Okay. Take some notes here. Live notes. We're doing it, folks. Okay, so I figure it would have to be a Saturday or a Sunday, right? So check out the home schedule. We got Saturday the 30th of May against the Marlins at 4:10. That actually could work perfectly. Fuck. I think the 1:40 Sunday game is not a good idea. Okay, so then we got June 13th versus the Braves. As a matter of fact, we could maybe get the Bentleys to come up for that. Saturday, June 13th against the Braves at 4:10 could work. Phillies, the 27th, Saturday, June 27th against the Phillies at 4:10. I do not like these 1:40 Sunday games, although there is one after each of these. So that is an option too. Okay. So I think that's what we're looking at right now, because this doesn't seem like a very fun bit to do, going over the Mets home schedule. Oh, wait, hold on. Holy shit. July 11th against the Red Sox. That's our day. We should probably get tickets ASAP, actually. Okay. This is what we'll do. We might do more than one Mets game this year, but check out your calendar. May 30th, June 13th, June 27th, or July 11th. One, if not more than one of those Saturdays, we're going to be going to the City Field. We'll be streaming. We'll have Bobo, JT, and if anyone else wants to come for the trip, Jesse Angel, you're more than welcome. We don't have to, not everyone needs to stream for this. You can meet us at the game. We'll probably stream during the game if we can. We'll see how that goes. But I get it. Some people aren't ready to be on air. So we'll keep that in mind. But we'd love for y'all to come out. That could be fun. Doodle getting a Wrigley game, day game plan would be amazing. I've never been to Wrigley. I've been to a shit ton of stadiums around the country, but I have not. Stansel and Mead, yeah, no thanks. Try to do Christopher Running. I see what you did there. I was frozen. Damn. I hope I got unfrozen. But yeah, all right. So that's the thing is that JT the Watcher hit me up, or we were talking last weekend, and he said that he wants to go to a Mets game with Bobo and I, and we're going to make it happen. So we'll see if we can get some folks to come along with us. That would be fun. But all right, I think NJ Ranger, damn it, my bad. Nobody watches this motherfucker, so I presume you didn't know. What the fuck is he talking about? Right, Coney does. He dry bakes removes his co-host died. Oh, okay, I got it. I know who we're talking about. You should do a walk and talk called Walk and Talkin', where you do your impression the whole time while interacting with the chat and the people on the streets of New York City. I am the executive producer. Holy shit, Luke. Well, that ain't a goddamn brilliant idea, and that ain't a fucking half-baked idea. If I've ever heard one, I absolutely love that. That is a good... Listen, you're an idea guy, and that's not a bad one. So let's finish it up here, man. I am starting to drag. Been with y'all almost an hour and 45. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for hanging out here today with me, Stevie Lou. Great man, great streamer. Does a lot of things for the community too. He went to Rodney's the other day, a week ago, as a matter of fact, and the owner of Rodney's was saying evil things about Stevie Lou, and I personally don't think that that's warranted at all. But nevertheless, we moved on with our lives. So, what is happening to the mind? Reality. Wow. Great times. Great times. Some people taking a smoke break. I figured I'd leave you on that because you did do a nice little job here with me, I'd give you a little snippet. But once again, hit. Roy Cohen says, "I'm not watching, just listening. How did Stevie get walking on the show?" No, it was an impression. It was my impression, Roy. I know it's hard to believe, but that was my impression, and I did want to leave y'all with that before I leave you. So thank you very much to everyone who joined us here today. Thank you very much to Tukey for no showing and leaving the slot open for me to jump on. Thank you very much to Cardiff Electric for not accepting the link. And yeah, I gotta have some breakfast, lunch, brunch, they call it, and take care of some shit and then work later. That fucking sucks. That sucks. The only good thing here is that after work we got Mortal Kombat 2. So Shuli Madoff said, Chad really doing a show again after yesterday. Okay, what happened yesterday that I am not aware of? Something happened yesterday. No, but this is perfect. Please, I don't think I can send you over there. I don't think they have that whole raid thing here on StreamYard. I have actually no idea how that's done. But everyone go watch Chad Zumach. He's getting started right now. Perfect opportunity to keep it going. I'll probably check in the chat over there. But if you are looking for something to watch, Chad Anthony Zumach, World War Z, my buddy. I mean, there's no other way to put it. My pal. We were hanging last weekend. We were bullshitting, chatting, having a good time, man. Like nothing but positive vibrations for Chad and I. It took a long time to get there, as you all know. But at this point, and I'm not happy with what he did with Doodle. I will always hold that to him. That was wrong. And I hope that someday gets taken care of. But besides that, Chad and I have been getting along in person now 2 times in a row. And I absolutely have a different outlook on that guy. So give the Zumach man a watch today. He should be started any minute. Thanks again, folks. I guess I'll leave you with my buddy's song. I'm so proud of this thing. Good old Matthew Price. Wait, no, sorry. You guys said it sucks audio wise, so I won't play it as a matter of fact, but I'll throw up his banner before I go. Please go check out Matthew W. Price, PRYCE.bandcamp.com, and throw him a follow. That's for free. Check out his music. He is my boy, and I'm going to maybe try to see if he can get a theme song going for me, although I'll use his other fucking song as a theme song until then. So once again, lunatics in the house, throw the L's up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. I'm out. Peace.